Coach Frye, a victorious weekend for you guys. The women took home the team championship from the Armory Track Invitational. The men finished second and also had a very good week. That's a meet you've been going to for almost 2 decades now. I think you've been to every single incarnation of the Armory Invitational. So to be the team champion is something that has to be very special to you.
It is, and it's been a while since we've won it. But that's at one point we dominated that meet, and it was fun. It's a great recruiting tool. The Northeast. You're talking about New York is 18 million people, so you're talking. There's a possibility of recruiting, and to dominate, to have a great meet there in front of those kids, gives us a chance for our phone to ring. And that's what we're excited about. Is the fact we won, we ran fast, and the recruits saw us run fast.
On the women's side, of course, anytime you win a team championship, you have a lot of individual success. The 400 meters really continues to be such a strong suit for you guys, not just the 4x4 relay, but individually. Precious won, and Brianna did very well. Aaliyah scored a lot of points for you as well. That group, how is it that they feed off of each other? It seems like they really make each other better every time that they run competitively, and I got to think it's the same way in training too.
Well, it's more in competition that they're really competitive. The training part is they know each one of them have a different regiment because each one of them had a different strength. So we don't have that much competition, but at least they know the other person is doing their work. They're observing somebody when they're not getting it done, and we have meetings together so that they hold each other accountable. So that's the one thing about them. They have some goals set as a group and goals set as individuals. We have to score in the SEC in the 400 meters, and they realize that. And last year we had 2 scores in the 400 meters last year, and right now, we got to work hard the next 2 weeks to get in position to score in the SEC.
On the men's side, I want to ask you about TT. He false started in the finals of the 60 meters on Saturday afternoon, and for a lot of people, that might have sunk their entire day. But then he went on and ran even better in the 200 to win that one for you and to get 10 big points. How impressed were you at the way that he was able to put away the disappointment from the 60 and come back stronger than ever in the 200?
Well, the big thing about him coming back was who he was running against. I mean, he had spoken early on about the young man from Ohio State, and that's an All-American. That's a kid that's run really great outdoors. And for him to not make the finals last year, TT didn't, and to beat the Gray kid, and we were excited about that win. I mean, he went at that win, and it was a tough one to get. And but I was pleased to see him, knowing that that's who he was running against. Lots of time, kids they can't take the challenge of knowing there's somebody with a better personal best and more notoriety than them. And TT is actually taking on the challenge of persons that have more notoriety. He takes it on week by week on what we got to do this week and who's going to be there.
Let's turn the page to this weekend at Clemson. You guys have 2 meets left before the postseason starts on the indoor side of things. So I got to think that these next 2 weeks are all about identifying who it is for you guys that can maybe score points for you up at Vanderbilt at the end of the month. What do you need to get out of these 2 meets, starting with this week at Clemson and then next week you're right back up there? What is it that you need to see out of your team as you really fine-tune things for the postseason?
On the women's side, we got to get another hurdler. I think Tanisha is moving to a direction to where she can be in the top 2 or 3. But we have to have somebody else to do it. And to make sure we got our triple jumper has to get to the point where she can score big in a conference meet, and then Rudy's got to get on the board, so the long jump. So those are things that this meet kind of sets us up for, is to see can we get it done. And then if we get some other outside things, having another hurdler gets where they're in the top 10 in the conference meet, that gives us a shot. Our kids are good. In the SEC, we could score the same points that we could score at the Nationals. Being in the top 10 in the SEC is tough, and so that's our goal, is the top 10. And on the men's side, get TT where he can don't have a false start and can get in the mix in the 60 meters, and get Isaiah where he's at the top of the SEC right now. He's like 4th in the league, to hold on to 4th and maybe improve a little bit. So we got different things. Got a Whammer get him healthy for the triple jump. The high jump is going quite well with Michael, and so we know where our points lie, and what we're trying to do is find somebody. And David Winters is going to run his first meet at Clemson this week, and David was a scorer last year. We just don't know how much time he's got to get able to score in this league. And we got to be careful with him to make sure he doesn't get hurt in this one because he has a strained ham. So we know our spots, and we know what we're shooting for point-wise and where it'll put us in this league.
And, last one I got for you, Coach. This weekend is more good competition, and it really seems like ever since that first couple of weeks of the season, every single meet you guys are going to now, you got a lot of nationally ranked opponents there and a lot of kids that are probably going to be at College Station and then at Eugene in a few months. So, you're bringing a big group, a lot of kids that are not quite on those charts yet. So what do you hope that those kids get out of running and jumping and throwing alongside some of the best in the nation? I got to think it's the kind of thing that can only ratchet up your individual performances.
I think it'll get us racked up. You got Notre Dame's got a great quarter miler. So does Miami, and that should help our girls to just get in there and mix it up with them. And that's something that we need to see, because if they can wrap it in there with them, those are two girls who last year were scorers at the NC2As, and then if we can get something done in the hurdles versus Seascape. A&M is just awesome in the sprints. So if Tyler can pull off a good run versus A&M, that gives us. So we got targeted a group of people that have great groups. And in short sprints is A&M and North Carolina State's got a couple kids who run 6:60s in a dash. So the winner of that's going to be an NCAA qualifier. So if TT can get in the mix of that and run with those kids from NC State, so everywhere in this meet there's kids of notoriety that are shooting for the same things, and some of them. And then they have Tennessee, the #1 sprinter in America, there, and getting TT a chance to line up and try to get into the mix with them. Many times it's not. It's just being on the same field, and then you get a chance to rise to that level. And so our kids have been rising to that level all season long.
Another opportunity for the Gamecocks to do good stuff this week at the Tiger Paw Invitational. Coach Frye, good luck, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks a lot, and boy, watch the Gamecocks.
There you go. Thank you, Coach.